In the shadowy world of Port Charles, every alliance is a transaction, and every favor comes with a hidden cost. What appeared to be a clever professional move by Michael now unravels into something much darker, an elaborate trap woven from ambition, vengeance, and buried secrets. For months, Michael has presented himself as a devoted father and corporate strategist, carefully balancing his family's chaos with his ambitions at ELQ. Yet beneath that polished exterior, a storm was brewing. His decision to send Jacinda Bracken to work at Crimson was not the innocent career opportunity it appeared to be. It was a move made with precision, calculation, and a dangerous objective: to expose Nina's corruption once and for all. Nina Reeves has always thrived in manipulation masked as charm. After clawing her way back from scandal after scandal, she now stands at the helm of Crimson, trying to maintain the facade of a woman reborn, strong, independent, and in control. But her pride has always been her weakness. When she boasted to Drew that Jacinda was no longer his alibi, she revealed more than she intended. In that brief, reckless moment of triumph, Nina exposed her hand. She thought she was removing a pawn from the board. Instead, she confirmed exactly what Michael had been waiting to prove: that she was still operating in the shadows, bending the rules, and manipulating others to maintain her power. The check, small, elegant, and seemingly insignificant, became the weapon that shattered the illusion. In the commercial footage, Jacinda's manicured hand is seen sliding it across the table, a moment framed as a routine business exchange. But the truth beneath the surface is chilling. That check represents more than money. It symbolizes the continuation of Nina's long pattern of deceit, the quiet corruption that has infected every deal she touches. Michael, ever the tactician, recognized it immediately. He knew that to bring down someone like Nina, he needed evidence she couldn't talk her way out of, evidence that would destroy her credibility and potentially her freedom. For Jacinda Bracken, what began as a promising professional assignment now feels like a trap from which she cannot escape. Young, ambitious, and eager to please, she believed she was stepping into the world of high fashion and influence under Nina's guidance. Instead, she became a pawn in a much larger game between the Corinthos and Reeves families. When Michael placed her at Crimson, he knew her position would give her access to confidential dealings. What Jacinda didn't realize was that she was being used to bait Nina into overstepping, to create the very scenario that could be captured and exposed. Whether she acted out of loyalty, fear, or naivete, the result is the same: Jacinda is now entangled in a legal and ethical nightmare, one that could end her career before it even begins. Nina's desperation to hold onto power has often led her to dangerous territory, but this time, the stakes are higher than ever. Her past crimes, whether hidden behind emotional manipulation or financial misconduct, have haunted her at every turn. She wanted to rebuild her life, to prove to everyone that she was more than the chaos that followed her name. Yet, as history often proves, Port Charles does not forgive easily. Each secret she's tried to bury has clawed its way back to the surface. Now, this latest scandal threatens to unravel not only her career but her already fractured relationships with Sunny and Willow. For Michael, this is personal. Nina's interference in his family's life has always been the unspoken wound that refuses to heal. He has watched her lie, scheme, and manipulate to gain access to Willow, to rewrite the narrative of her own redemption. Every move she made seemed to come at the expense of others, and for Michael, that was unforgivable. By sending Jacinda into *Crimson, he created a silent operation designed not only to expose Nina's latest deception but also to avenge the emotional damage she caused to those he loves. The irony is brutal. Nina believed she was finally winning, that she had secured control over the story. Instead, she has unknowingly handed Michael the key to her downfall. In the world of Port Charles, moral lines blur easily. Drew, caught in the crossfire, represents the tragedy of misplaced trust. He wanted to believe that truth and integrity could still guide business in a town built on betrayal. But as Nina revealed Jacinda was no longer his alibi, a cold realization struck him: he had been played, manipulated by both sides. Michael's plan, though brilliantly orchestrated, came with collateral damage. Drew's reputation and freedom are now at risk, and Nina's arrogance has only deepened the wound. To Drew, the entire situation feels like a betrayal from every direction, a reminder that in Port Charles, there are no true allies, only shifting loyalties. Meanwhile, the revelation of Nina's illegal dealings will send shockwaves through the business and personal circles of the city. Crimson may soon face an internal investigation, and if Michael moves forward with his proof, the consequences could reach federal levels. Fraud, falsified payments, and manipulation of financial records are not things the SEC overlooks lightly. Nina's carefully curated empire could collapse overnight, leaving her not only disgraced but potentially facing prison time. And while Nina might attempt to spin the narrative, to claim misunderstanding, manipulation, or emotional distress, the cold paper trail will tell a different story. What makes this twist so powerful is not just the exposure of Nina's wrongdoing but the way it mirrors the larger themes that have long defined General Hospital *, trust, betrayal, and the cyclical nature of sin. Michael, in trying to protect his family, has become what he despises, a manipulator willing to use deceit to expose deceit. In proving Nina's corruption, he risks corrupting himself. And as for Jacinda, her innocence has been the casualty of a war she never volunteered to fight. Each of them, in their own way, stands on the edge of moral ruin. The ripple effect will be devastating. Sonny, who has tried to rebuild his life with fragments of peace, will once again be forced to choose between loyalty and justice. His connection to Nina has always been unstable, a volatile mixture of love, regret, and denial. When the truth comes out, Sonny's empire may fracture yet again, not because of external enemies, but because of the woman he allowed into his heart. For Willow, who has fought tirelessly to preserve a fragile sense of normalcy, the revelation that her mother has once again resorted to criminal means could destroy any remaining hope of reconciliation. It's one thing to forgive a parent for mistakes, it's another to forgive them for weaponizing lies in your name. Even those on the sidelines, Carly, Drew, and Brooklyn, will feel the aftershocks. Carly, who has always warned others of Nina's duplicity, may find herself torn between vindication and sadness. She knows better than anyone that revenge, no matter how justified, leaves lasting scars. Drew, humiliated and betrayed, will have to decide whether to side with Michael in exposing Nina or to rise above the chaos and protect his own integrity. And Brooke Lynn, ever the observer of family power plays, will see in this mess the reflection of every moral compromise that defines Port Charles. How love and loyalty can be twisted into tools of destruction. When Michael finally confronts Nina with the evidence, the moment will not be one of triumph but of reckoning. He may realize that destroying her publicly will also fracture the already fragile peace within his own family. Yet if he stays silent, he risks allowing her to continue hurting others. This is the impossible moral equation that General Hospital thrives on. There is no clean victory, only survival. As the dust settles, the check that started it all may become one of the most iconic symbols of the show's current arc. A reminder that every secret has a price, and every transaction carries a hidden agenda. Michael's proof may indeed expose Nina's illegal schemes, but it will also expose something far more tragic, that in the world of Port Charles, no one is ever truly innocent. Every act of vengeance plants the seed for another betrayal. Every attempt to save someone you love risks destroying someone else. In the end, Michael's plan to protect his daughter may achieve its goal, but at what cost? Jacinda's career may crumble. Drew's trust may vanish. Nina's empire may fall. And Michael himself may lose the one thing he swore to preserve, his moral compass. The Corinthos legacy, once again, stands at the crossroads between redemption and ruin. The check has been cashed, the trap has been sprung, and as the truth spreads through Port Charles like wildfire, one haunting question remains. When you play God with the lives of others, who will save you when your own sins come due?